Wait, why did nobody tell me that birthright citizenship was meant for the babies of slaves? On the basis of that logic, we got to follow what Trump says, y'all. A lot of things have changed. If you don't have a musket, yeah, can't tell me about the Second Amendment. Baby, if you're not pouring in, and I mean pouring it in, shoving that stick down and ready to shoot, so no more blickies, the Glocks, you're going to have to put them down. Yeah, sorry about that, folks, but Trump daddy said it's no more. Birthright was meant for slaves, for babies of slaves. So I'm sorry. We gotta start. We really gotta start taking this stuff to heart now, because he knows so much about how this country was founded and everything. And honestly, at this point, we need to re-roll out the entire Constitution. Like, let's light this candle. Let's talk about the amendment number 8. We're supposed to be protected from cruel and unusual punishment, but every time Orange Guy gets on the screen, I'm feeling very cruel and punished.
Donald Trump just won one of the biggest wins that he's ever won. You ever notice that when Donald Trump tries to implement any of the policies that he ran on, some random judge from somewhere will just pop up out of nowhere and start interjecting with their ideas? Well, those days are over. The Supreme Court just ruled in favor for Donald Trump against all of these judges. So now Donald Trump can finally get more important policies passed in this country without any issue or blowback. One of them being birthright citizenship. A lot of people are very ignorant in this country. They don't even know why birthright citizenship was created. It was created to ensure equal rights to formerly enslaved people after the Civil War. Not for people to come to this country and use it as a finesse tool to become an American citizen. That is not why it was created. And it should have been gone a long time ago, if I'm being honest. Things are finally going to start getting done around this bitch. Even though Donald Trump has been doing a damn good job, considering that every time he tries to get any of his policies done, somebody over here pops up with how they feeling. Oh no, I have an idea, and that judge over there wants this, and that judge over there all of that's over. God bless America, man.
I agree with birthright citizenship. For so long, for so many decades, non-citizens have benefited off the backs of my people, my ancestors, Black Americans, the true Americans. Whether people want to hear that shit or not, we built the majority of America for centuries. I support what Donald Trump doing as far as getting these illegals out the country. I support Donald Trump for making it harder for people to become real citizens in America. If your ancestors didn't build America, you don't have a right, a free right, just to benefit off Black American benefits. So I do fully support what Donald Trump doing. If your parents not originally born in America, even if you born in America, you are subject to not being an American citizen. I'm sorry. But changes need to be made in America. This system needs to be reset. It never been reset before. All these foreigners getting these benefits for so long, when all these benefits should have been going to Black Americans. The very people, the soul of America got treated last in line. My ancestors got treated the worst in all of America. So many parts of America was built by my Black people, Black Americans. So if anybody have a right to say they the real true Americans of this land, it's Black Americans. We are the original people in this country. So yes, I do agree with deportation. If you're not a real citizen, you don't deserve no food stamps. You don't deserve no free housing. You don't deserve to go to school. No, you don't. I don't care. I'm not apologizing for it. Benefits should go to real Americans first, whether they Black or white. Real benefits, real help, the soldiers of America should come first. The elderly of America, the older people should come first. The real children of America should come first. The real Americans, it's time for the real Americans to get all these benefits, because right now, these illegal immigrants need to get out of America. I don't care what people say. They talk about, well, They tearing up families. Well, how about for centuries when black children and black mothers and fathers got sold and they never seen their families again? What about the black families? What about the black men and black women that got hanged on many trees in the South, where families got broke for centuries? How about that? How about all the how about all the doing blood in the soil still today for centuries that black people have suffered and died in this very country that they built? So when they talk about, oh, this not right, how about for 4+ centuries, how black Americans was the most mistreated people in the world? No, if you're not a true birthright citizen, you need to get out of America. Me personally, I'm happy today. I support what Donald Trump did. These judges, they don't have the power to override Donald Trump. And I'm hoping that everything stand and go through, because at the same time, black Americans built pretty much 90+% of America and made this country into a superpower. Everybody have a great day.
Hey, tell me y'all heard the news about the Supreme Court passing the birthright citizenship. So y'all know what that means, right? No more of you immigrants benefiting off our inheritance, off the so-called black Americans' inheritance. Ain't no more free rides, no more government assistance, no more government checks and all these loans. That shit over with. That's supposed to be given to us. That's supposed to go to us. All these years. And I'm glad this is a beautiful time to be alive. Like I told y'all in the post I made a while ago that went viral. I told y'all Trump for the so-called black Americans. Y'all didn't believe me. But now y'all about to see. Watch how things finna change now that this birthright citizenship has been passed. And it proves that we have been here before anybody. Because why are we the only ones that the birthright citizenship was granted to? Like I said, a lot of y'all been hanging on us so-called black Americans for the longest. A lot of y'all been prejudiced against us. I guess that's the word. Call us lazy, call us that. Want to know why? Because you benefiting off our inheritance. And that shit over with.
Donald Trump is 100% standing on business with this Supreme Court ruling on the 14th Amendment. He says this was for the babies of slaves again. Check this out.
Through this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves.
Hey, Latinos for Trump. They're coming for your citizenship. They're coming for your citizenship. You better change that last name. You better become a Schwartz or a Stewart or a, whatever your last name you want to put on yourself. Because if you're a Gonzalez, a Ramirez, Hernandez, a Diaz, a Garcia, a Mendoza, a Solis, any Latino last name, they're coming for your citizenship. If you haven't been paying attention, the Supreme Court just agreed with the president and his cronies that the offspring of people who are not citizens do not belong as citizens. This is insane because this has already been embedded into the Constitution for a long time. So the fact that we're having this conversation in 2025 tells you everything that you need to know. They're not coming for just the criminals, as we have seen all over the streets. They're coming for the last names. They're coming for the pigmentation. They're coming for the accents. They're coming for the children of immigrants. They're coming for anybody that doesn't fit their Eurocentric agenda. And that is what you really, 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 really need to focus on. Because if you don't look like them, you are not one of them. And
And remember that Stephen Miller is the one who is advising on everything. And as far as he's concerned, he's a 6'5" blonde, blue-eyed person. He's not, but that's all he wants around. Anyway, so I hope that that's what you voted for.
So I agree with the Supreme Court decision for the birthright citizenship. Now, essentially, what happened was the Trump administration, well, the Supreme Court decided that these federal judges, which Biden put in right before he left, don't forget that really wasn't Biden, it was whoever was running the country. So he put a bunch of those federal judges in to block the things that Trump would be doing in the future. Because why did you put 100 and something black? Now they ain't did that the whole time. 100 something black. See, they're using the race thing again. Black federal judges to stop him at every turn. Why would they do that? Anyway, so I agree that moving forward, birthright, I agree with it. Because you know what that means? That means people can stop coming over and taking advantage. And the thing is, people are so afraid to speak about the truth because they're afraid to be called a racist when it's not even that. Because when I talk, I'm not talking about just Hispanics. I'm talking about the Indians, the Middle Easterns, the Arabs, the Ethiopians, everybody. Okay? The white, whoever came over here. You can't do that in any other country. You can't just go over there, have babies, and be like, oh, they're a citizen now. That's no. You can't do that. So why would America allow it? And I say that's good because it frees up space, jobs, money, aid, so on, and programs, everything, even just classroom room. Because remember, it was like 32 people to a classroom at one point. So it frees up a lot of space for us who've been here to be able to have a more comfortable environment. And the reality is a lot of these immigrants came over here and been getting everything handed to them for free because they're not a citizen. So they don't have a social security number. They don't have to report anything. They get Medicaid, Medi-Cal, whatever you want to call it. Free lunch. They get free tutoring. Um, Everything is done under the table. They know friends, family. They hook them up with jobs, pay them under the table so they're not paying taxes. They have food trucks. They have carts. They have all these things that's cash only, and they're getting everything handed down to them for free and tax free. And that's why they can come over here and be millionaires in a few years and build businesses and all that because there has been no proof of citizenship for years. So anybody, and I'm talking about any race, that come over here and be like, look, we just came over here as immigrants and now we can do this and that. And it's like, yeah, because everything was handed to you. You have no one that is putting a forceful hand and putting roadblocks in your path to keep you from being successful. That's not our case. Now, we've had to fight. We have to fight literally for every little thing. And it's still not what it's supposed to be. But I'm in total agreement with it. Yes, it should be only us, descendants of slaves. But the reality is if we do that, everybody will have to go except for us. That's the reality. But of course, no one's going to go there for real. Maybe sometime in the future it'll happen. But the reality is, yeah, everybody would be gone. The country would be empty. Well, really wouldn't be empty. It'd just be us. But yeah, hopefully this ushers in the second Exodus, and I hope that's a real thing. But who knows? We'll see what happens. Um, Also, remember, the only reason why we're going through any of this is because of the Biden administration and Kamala. Remember, Kamala was the border czar. Remember? And we're still missing those hundreds of thousands of children. Remember? And they're finding kids' backpacks and shoes and bones and stuff in the desert. Remember? Remember, she'd never been to the border, but she's the border czar. Remember? Okay. That's the real problem. Don't be mad at Trump. Be mad at them. Now, look, listen. I don't agree with Trump on everything at all. I think he's good for the economy. Obviously, the economy stuff has been working, but I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that he does. Just FYI. But I do agree with this one. There has to be a limit. Has to be.
The USA has just banned birthright citizenship, at least in these 28 states, starting on July 26th. In the 6-3 court ruling, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Donald Trump's ban on birthright citizenship. Now, the reason why it's not the whole country is because these states right here, the ones that are not in red, currently have pending litigations and lawsuits against Donald Trump. But regardless, starting July 26th, if you're born in any of these states in the red, you are not eligible for birthright citizenship. So if you plan on having kids or are going to have a kid in the near future, rethink where you're going to give birth. My next message is for Latinos for Trump. We all know that many of you guys are recipients and beneficiaries of birthright citizenship. Many, if not most, Latinos for Trump have undocumented family members or undocumented parents. Although this might not affect you right now, you're next on the chopping block. But regardless, maybe the USA has the president it deserves. And I hope that everybody that voted for that man is happy for what they voted for. I'm just genuinely grateful and happy that I don't live in the US. But anyways, let me know what you guys